righty folks, so away from home we continue to keep up this brilliant record we have in terms of collecting points, scoring goals, good performances and all that jazz. So I say today, what day is it? It's Tuesday today. This match happened on Saturday. Yes, I'm late again. Hello, thank you, that's me now. But anyways, it's further proof that away from home, there's just some different spark that's been ignited that we cannot ignite at home, and I don't know why. I don't know what the problem is, apart from the fact that we're setting up differently and we're acting differently on the pitch. But the club doesn't seem to want to answer those questions, so I'll answer them for you. Anyways, Preston North End versus Birmingham at the weekend. We walk away with a 2-1 victory, which was pretty deserved, I'd like to think. But anyways, we'll get on with my first and second half breakdown before we take a look at the stats. The first half was a direct response to what happened last week against Norwich, all over the ball in the first 25 and constantly challenging for it to give us a 2-goal lead early on in the game. Ledson with a massive rocket after simply having a goal from range, and Brown being on the receiving end of a near post header instead of delivering it for a change, and it's a much better display in the first half than what we've seen recently. The second half was more of what we are used to at Deepdale. Our quality slowly dipped as it progressed, more hoofing the ball forward and poor choices. We conceded a poor one but managed to grind it out to win 2-1. Now, stats wise, we had 8 shots and they had 10. On target we both had 4, and 4 is 50% of our ratio, which isn't terrible, considering we only had 8 shots, which you would have thought we could probably get more than 8, to be honest, with how much we were going forward. But possession-wise, we had less possession. Another game that we've won without the most possession. And that's mainly because when we play away, we don't time waste in terms of trying to keep the possession like we do at home. When we play at home, we look to be possessive and defensive, which is not what we should be doing. We should be playing attacking football, which is what we do away. And that's why we win. And if we played the same route of attacking football at home, we'd be fine. Yeah, fair enough, away teams come to Deepdale and they play offensively. That's what most teams will do. But that doesn't mean we have to change our entire system to try and account for that, because it just ends up killing us. So, it is what it is. Anyways, the rest of these are pretty irrelevant for the most part, apart from the corners being less. But in terms of how things stand at the minute, we are now back to 11th from 15th, I think it was, or 14th. So there's not been a massive jump. But people are still saying this is an awful thing, we're in an awful spot, and no, we're not. Just like, look, of course, instant promotion, no one's challenging for instant promotion anymore. These two teams secured instant promotion long time ago. Okay, so it's just these positions here in the playoffs. And as you can see, we are 2 points out of the playoffs yet again. So why do people think it's impossible? Yeah, fair enough, it's not going to be easy because we've got some very good teams ahead of us and some very good teams behind us that have also got a very similar chance. But at the same time, we are not down here with the other two shitty Northwest clubs. We are up here next to all these other teams and this piece of shit. We're up here. That's what I'm trying to say. We are not going down. We are staying up. Regardless of what happens, we're staying up. Alright? But then, in terms of challenging for the playoffs, of course it's possible. Look at it. Look at that. Look at the points. Yeah, we don't score that many goals. Yeah, we play shit at home and that's stunting our capability of reaching these places. However, it don't matter if we're playing shit at home right now, there's always a chance for it to be fixed. Will it be fixed? I don't know. I sure hope so. We all hope so. But again, it does not mean that it's impossible to reach the playoffs, because look at it, it's definitely not impossible. With a stroke of luck, we could reach it, never mind talent. So yeah, there you go. That answers your question. The playoffs are more than doable, and I don't know why people don't think they are. But anyways, enough of that. Let's go look at these player ratings, shall we? I think we all had a pretty decent performance. Woodman was a 7, I can agree with that. It was pretty steady, but then the one that we did concede were a bit of a sloppy one. Story is 6, Lindsay is 7, and Hughes is 7. The back three we've had for the majority of the campaign coming back in full force, and that's good to see. Ledson, Brown, and McCann in the middle. They had 8, 8, and 7 respectively. Shame to see McCann only have a 7 compared to the other two having an 8, but you can't deny that Ledson and Brown were brilliant. They were our goal scorers. They did their job really well in the middle. Brown 100% capable of right wing back, as this performance of course displayed to us. Ledson was really scrappy as always. McCann just kept it simple and tidy. Woodburn is 6. His rating's been roughly a 6 all season, to be honest. He's never really having massive performances, but he's still a very influential player. He's very helpful. Decent first half, doing what he does best. Busy tackling, pressure, doing the dirty work. So a shot deflected wide, drifted out in the second half. It was very close actually. Just for that second half, could have played Parrott in before just he made way, but went solo. Yeah, I think he should have played in Parrott. And then Brady in 8.5, back in the lineup. His cross led to both goals, showed his experience throughout, made the right decisions, worked his socks off, put some crucial tackles in. Yep, Brady's influence on this team is massive and it's fantastic to see him back. And then the two new boys up front, Delap, Cannon, 8 and 7 respectively. I think they both did very well, very pacey, always running around to get that ball back. When they did get the ball, they were bringing it forward. Even if they didn't have a crack, or they did have a crack and missed, or whatever else like that, they did very, very well. Delap came very close to scoring, but was denied by Ruddy's leg. And then Cannon again was just, it was more of keeping the battle going. If anything, he didn't look like he was on for scoring at many places. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. Right, substitutes: Evans, Parrott, DJ at 6. Evans at 6 made the ball stick for 20 minutes. Parrott pushed himself about, pressing defenders, making runs. And then DJ brought on for the final few minutes. Fresh legs helped in the middle of the park, and he won a priceless free kick to relieve pressure in stoppage time. Yeah, pretty good. I saw someone give DJ some shit as well on Facebook after the match, saying that, oh look, DJ comes on and it falls apart. It fell apart after the first half. The second half is when the second half kicked off. That's when we fell apart, because it just got worse and worse and worse. DJ had nothing to do with it. It's just throwing shit around for the sake of throwing shit around now with players. Like, fair enough, he's not had a brilliant season, and when he got booed off at Deepdale, yeah, fine, fair enough, you could say it was deserved. But just giving him shit for the sake of giving him shit don't be stupid. Right. Manager's outlook on the match. Brilliant. They always do bounce back, don't they? We don't ever lack effort, desire or commitment. If anything, it's that bit of quality we get into certain areas. The application and attitude of the group from Monday 12 o'clock has been spot on. It was nice. We had to get in and debrief Norwich. 1 or 2 harsh words were said and we let them speak. Since then the focus has been on Birmingham, and I thought every single one of them, to a man, were different class. And that's good. It's always good to get a couple of harsh words in there, because you're never going to get anywhere by being soft all the time. I'll have to watch it back. It's just all going through my head at the minute. Different scenarios in the game, what happened, stuff we did good with and stuff we could have done better on. I will analyse it back, but just real determination. Going back to basics a little bit, we had 2 lads up front who were runners, caused havoc, changed shape, went to a 4-4-2, which we were aware of because they'd done it against Forest Green and won. So we went back to basics, asked the lads to do the right things, defend well, attack well. Felt we'd have enough to score some goals, and we did that. Okay, cool. We can never get too high or too low. I'm done with that now. When we've won, it's done, and when we get on the coach, the game's gone. Okay. We will look to get an easy game against Tottenham at the weekend. Joking, okay. It's more the fact that the league is crazy. We've all said all along you can find yourself up or down. It's so up and down, but I say to our lads just to stick to the basics, do the right things. When they do that, they are excellent. Right, okay, and that's what you tell them when they're away. You can see that, but you don't tell them that at home, clearly, because they never do. Sometimes they're a better opposition against you and there's nothing you can do about that, but with all due respect, these are the games and the teams we feel we can take points from. For me, now, that's 40 points and we've got 54 to play for all. We don't want to set too many targets. We've done that before and faltered, okay? It's just on the next one. The next home game in the league is Bristol. We'll plan for the weekend against Spurs and enjoy it, but also the one after that try and collect more points, okay? On the goals and closing stages, the volley on the left foot from Rye, I don't think he could hit that with his right, let alone his left. But no, joking aside, but he's got that, and the corner was well worked. We felt we could work something at the near post with Brownie on one side and Robbie from the other side. It worked a treat. Once he's gotten in there, it's a great header and a great goal. The two of them were fantastic. I thought we could have seen the game off at the end. We had 1 or 2 opportunities, but snatched 1 or 2 things, and the final pass wasn't quite right. That allowed Birmingham to put a bit of pressure on us, and it was like the Alamo at the end. They pushed everyone up. The football went out the window, and it was just long ball and second balls, which is what they got their goal from. I'm just pleased we could see it out. Yeah, but you shouldn't be pleased. We could see it out. We should, if anything, we should be trying to enforce the discipline to not be doing these mistakes. But anyways, on Brady, I don't really like singling players out, but when Rob comes back, he was champing at the bit to start last weekend. You have to manage these lads and bring them back to make sure they are fit and well. I don't have to tell you what Robbie's quality is like. And not only his quality, but his leadership skills. In the dressing room, he's a different class. He's a top kid. Alvaro's done great out there at times. But he's still a youngster, and he's played a lot of games, probably more than expected. When you got the competition with him and Robbie, certain games Alvaro plays, certain that Robbie plays. Robbie's quality shines through. I was going to mention that as well about Alvaro and Robbie as a dilemma, but it looks like they've got it sorted. On the back three, I don't mind the clean sheets. It's great for the players, especially Fred, but for us it's about points. They put the bodies on the line when there are balls coming into the box. You can see the leadership of Lindsay, Story and Hughes when 1 or 2 misjudged it. All of them to an extent were saying get your head on it and stop the crosses, but it's their job ultimately to stop the ball going into the net. They have been doing great. They've been great at doing it, and it was back to basics. The back lads were fantastic. We were in a back five at times, and we knew we'd have to do that to soak it up. We were excellent in doing that. On Brown's second goal in 3 games. He's always had goals in his game. Before I came, I remember looking at the plays and thinking Brown's a goal-scoring midfielder who should be getting between 8 and 10 goals a season. I don't know how many he's on now. I think he's on about 4 or 5. Excluding Huddersfield, I think it's 3, but I'm not too sure. But if he can continue scoring, it's obviously pleasing for me and him. The performance was good enough for me, though. On McCann and Woodburn's early energy. That is why they played today, because we knew it was a second ball game. We needed Ben Woodburn's pressing and jumping because it's very good, and Ali's second ball game and energy. With Ryan sitting in between the two of them, we knew, but with Brownie and Robbie either side, the 2 lads up, there were loads of energy, wasn't there? I'm just pleased for the lads, really. They had a disappointing week and performance. Jesus, you want to get back on the winning streak as quickly as you can, and that is what they've done. On Delap, fantastic, great kid, fantastic attitude, wants to learn. He's got fantastic ability, and him and Tom, at the minute, we'll be thinking they want their first goal. We've got to keep them calm because the goals will come. You've seen the chances they create themselves, and we can create chances for them. They've had a week with us now. We'll keep working with them, and they'll be scoring for us. Pretty cool. And I do see scoring potential in these boys. It's just a shame they've not had it yet. Okay, so for my personal points that I've picked out for the game to make is Delap and Cannon were very fast and have great skill. It's just unlucky they can't net one yet. Great passing and overall attacking in the first half. Second half was poor in comparison. It's good to have Brady back. The influence is definitely felt, and everyone did their job very well. And considering this is a game without Whiteman, I think the way that we line up in the midfield this time round more than worked out for the best. The pros: early lead for the confidence, better pressing, not a single bad performance, big 3 points, and the fans are back on board. I say fans in quotation marks because I don't even know if these lot even care. Woodman's positive. Oh, sorry, no, sorry, cons. Woodman's positioning is still bad, and it's a poor goal to concede. Woodman's positioning is the most baffling thing in the world to me because he'll make some fantastic saves, but the basic of standing in the correct place to get ready to save the ball, he just can't do that sometimes, and it's very, very strange. Okay, and that's about it. There's nothing more to talk about really. There are some things that have popped up recently in terms of P&E news regarding Ben Whiteman, as well as right wing back talk, and I'll cover that in a transfer talk episode if I get the time. But it's not exactly important information because it's not anything that's going to exactly follow through. I don't think it's not going to be something that we have to be aware of just yet, I don't think, but until we get some more sources to say other things, otherwise I will keep it on the down low and I will keep my eye on it. But that aside, thank you all for listening in again. Apologies it's late, I can't help it these days, you know, busy schedule and stuff. I'm not at home, which is where my setup is, for half the week, so it's impossible to do these videos at the weekend. I should be able to do the Spurs one, however, because I will be at home this time. And after that, I'm not entirely sure what's going on because I'm supposed to be starting work soon, so the videos could slow down a lot, and if it does, I'm sorry, but I'll try my very best. My PC sounds like it's growling. So there's a fan that's going crazy and I don't know why. I'm going to have to have a look at that right now, actually. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Sorry it's late again. And I will see you in the next episode of Transfer Talk if that happens, and if not, I will see you for the next episode of FA Cup Watch when we talk about Preston North End versus the fake Lily Whites.